Last year, I invited Vicky, Nick and some of our friends to compete in a Mario & Sonic rugby tournament, to see if I could recreate the excitement of the real ones like the Six Nations or the Rugby Championship. This was also to see if the Rugby Sevens game made for good esports. I think this went quite well.
So you were just trying to wind up your opponent.
It's working, I'm winning!
Now, the teams are back to compete again, and they couldn't be more excited. If you want a lowdown on how all this works, I'd recommend watching last year's video, as there will be spoilers for the first tournament throughout this series. This year, we're covering the tournament in 5 parts, 1 per round, and they'll be releasing weekly to hopefully build up some hype week on week. With that said, welcome to the second, maybe annual, it's too soon to tell, ABK Six Nations. So now I have to bring some breaking news, kind of, not really. The coach of the Goon and Goombas, Ollie, has been involved in a catfishing scandal involving actual fish, and they stole all his personal data, including financial data to do with the rugby team. It means the Goombas are suspended, pending investigation. This is where we'd do a VPN sponsorship if we were a bigger channel. We went to the coach of the Goon and Goombas for their statement.
So I, Oliver, manager of the Goon and Goombas, do solidly dispute these catfishing claims. It's the Mushroom Kingdom deep state out to get me. It's the Matrix trying to push against what I'm trying to do. This is an illegitimate tournament. How can you have a tournament without the champions? They fear me. They fear what I'm capable of. And so they exclude me. Have no fear, loyal Gooners. Like the phoenix, I shall rise from the ashes to goon again.
But actually this is just our way of saying Ollie couldn't make it this year, but if this somehow reaches a 3rd year, he'll try to make it again. This means that Wario is a free agent this year, so any team can use him. Which brings me to... with an actual real-life trophy up for grabs, and many rivalry trophies being contested, let's introduce this year's 6 teams. Each team has their in-game captain who only they can use and represents their team. We have a new addition for you to meet as well. First up, coached by Jack, we have the Brave Boos, led by Bowser. This team impressed in our last tournament by having some of the closest wins ever, with a 3-point lead in the first round and just 2 points in the final game of the tournament, and these wins helped to secure their 2nd place finish. Their only loss to the eventual winners was a significant one, but with the Goon and Goombas not here, can they turn it around and win the entire thing?
So do you see today as your big opportunity?
Oh, we're back and bowsier than ever. I reckon we can take this.
The Crushing Koopas certainly hold the reputation as the most enthusiastic team from the last tournament.
Crushing! Yeah! Crushing! They think I'm going to tackle, they jump, they land, I get them, boom, crushed!
Coached by Vicky with their captain Bowser Jr., they ended up on the wrong side of some very close games. After narrowly losing round 1 to the Brave Boos, they led against the eventual champions at half time in round 2. But unfortunately this game also turned against them, and they lost by just 9 points. Their toughest game was the competition for the tournament's most notable trophy, the ABK Jiggy, where they lost 12 points to 43. They pulled back, winning their last 2 games by comfortable margins of over 35 points in both games. Let's see if they feel confident about building on this momentum today.
Last year was just a run-up, it was just a practice round. This is the real thing, the real deal. I can't wait to dominate. Crushing Koopas, oh yeah!
Super Mario.
Named for the legendary actor Bob Hoskins, the team appropriately has Mario as their captain. Led by Nick, this team looked like a real threat in the last tournament, winning their first 3 games with try bonus points and getting at least one bonus point in every game. Their match against the Gooning Goombas came down to the wire, but unfortunately the Hoskins lost by just 5 points. Their bad luck continued into the final round, where they lost to the Brave Boos by just 2 points, ending the tournament with the bronze medal. On a different day with these small margins going the other way, it could have been a very different outcome. Is today that day?
You came third, you got the bronze medal in what I think was one of the most memorable games of the last tournament.
We were robbed. We were robbed, Phill. That's all I can say about it, really.
The only team in the last tournament to use a Sonic character as their captain, Las Condoritas had a challenging time. Led by Tere and captained by Tails, they struggled to get a foothold in the competition and lost all their games. However, the first tournament was every team's first time playing, but now, with more time to practice and prepare, could the outcome be different?
I think they took this as like a journey, as a learning journey. So I think they just quite prepared this year to actually kick some asses.
So, originally not planned to return, they're back! We decided to keep them on the same setting as last time, which I'm still considering if that was the right move in retrospect, as you will come to see. They came 5th last year. Can they do better?
Okay.
Finally, the new additions to the tournament. We have Alex joining us today with his team, the Chaotic Kongs. He has the first member of the DK crew as his captain, as he joins for his first tournament. He is mine and Vicky's real-life older brother, but will he be going home with the real-life trophy?
You got DK as the leader of the bunch.
You know him well. He's
Yeah.
finally back to kick some tail.
Yeah?
He doesn't have his coconut gun, unfortunately, but, you know, he's got some good tactics.
Once more, we will be following the format of the Six Nations. So everyone will face everyone else once, and the winner will be the person with the most match points after all 5 rounds. A win is worth 4 points, a draw is worth 2 points, and a loss is 0. Mario and Sonic doesn't do draws, so if the scores are equal at the end of regular time, that's a draw, we're ending the game. We aren't going to extra time. 4 tries in 1 match gets you a bonus point, and a losing side can get a bonus point if they are within 7 points of the winner. So for example, the final game of last tournament was the Hooting Hoskins and the Brave Boos, 28-26. Both teams got 4 tries, which means they both got the try bonus point, and because the Hoskins were within 7 points of the Boos, they got a second bonus point for coming close as the loser. Unlike the first tournament, when no one had played before, this time we had no such restrictions, and we didn't know if we were going to do a second one, so people probably played the game in the last year in differing amounts depending on how much they enjoyed that first tournament. And for that reason, we still gave time for players to acquaint themselves with the controls again, without the scores counting towards the tournament. It was just some time to warm up, try some new things, get the hang of it again. Once we begin the games, we're going straight into the competition. Another element we're taking from the real Six Nations is that the home and away sides switch every tournament. Of course, we aren't travelling to everyone's house for this one, but we will be switching who will be playing as player 1 and who will be playing as player 2 to reflect it. Not sure if being player 1 or player 2 represents an advantage, but maybe we'll find out today. Obviously the exception is the computer, who can't be player 1. Based on all that big dump of information, I randomised the matches. It's finally time to begin the 2026 ABK Six Nations. We're kicking off our second tournament with the following exciting clashes. So let's get started with our grand opening match. Boos versus Robots. Last tournament, the Boos came second from top, and the Robots came second from bottom. Who will win the first game of our 2026 competition? Match preview. The Brave Boos won this game very confidently in 2025, with a 36-7 scoreline, their biggest win to date. Given that it's the opening game, they'll want to top that if they can.
Your first game is against the Rusty Robots.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So are you confident about that as your first matchup?
Yeah. I think we're ready for that. Take on the robots, they're falling apart.
Yeah.
Bowser's been practicing, we've all been practicing. We are Bowsier and better than ever.
Jack and the Boos began as they meant to continue. In just 16 seconds they had the first try scored from Vector. So far, so similar to the game in 2025, where they took their first try in just 13 seconds. The try was converted, making the score 7-0. The robots put up some defence when the game restarted, but it didn't take long for the Boos to get past again with another try and conversion to make the score 14-0. The Boos continued to put on the pressure, even though Metal Sonic had a bit of trouble finding the ball and was just kind of running round and round. It didn't take much pushing from team captain Bowser to make it 3 tries, but a slightly off-centre kick went wide of the posts, making the score 19-0. The robots made a concerted effort with 45 seconds still left in the first half to get the ball away from their end of the pitch, but the Boos wouldn't let them. The robot defence held until extra time, but the Boos got their bonus point try before the whistle blew. The kick was on target, and the teams went to half-time with the scoreline at 26-0. The second half didn't do much to improve the robots' prospects. Despite some fiercer attacks, they remained scoreless whilst the Boos scored again with Silver. The robots tried again, and even did some solid defending by booting the ball away from their try line, but Silver came again. Only the second try was converted, and the score became 38-0. Finally, in the last moments of the game, the Boos were on the attack. Metal Sonic had the ball, got over the line, and then the whistle blew before he put it down. The game ended with a win for the Boos, but barely missing a final try opportunity. It was still a strong win and a good opening match. Final score: Brave Boos 38, Rusty Robots 0. Hoskins vs Condoritas.
Super Mario.
Both these teams ended their 2025 tournaments with losses, but they are back today, fired up and ready to go. Who will win today and end their streak? Match preview. 2025's Wooden Spoon recipient Las Condoritas had a struggle at last year's competition, but their round 2 clash with the Hooting Hoskins was their closest game of that tournament at 26-5. In fact, it wasn't until extra time in the second half that the Hoskins only just scored their bonus point try. Las Condoritas struggled with their attack, but at times showed moments of brilliance in their play, whilst the Hooting Hoskins only missed coming second by a single kick. Needless to say, both of these teams will have something to prove today. When I spoke to the coaches ahead of the match, Tere was ready to go.
Are you confident about that matchup? That was your closest game last year, so do you think maybe this is a good place to start?
I think we are going to totally smash it.
Yeah?
This time. Yeah, I'm quite confident about what the guys are able to do now.
And of course, Nick was laser focused on the game as always.
Me and Mario have started an open relationship together. We really hope that chemistry is going to lead to some good results out on the field today.
This game was electric from the start. Las Condoritas, keen to show their training, attacked from the kickoff, getting close to the Hoskins try line when the ball was turned over. A Hoskins counterattack marched the ball back up the field, with Vicky commenting on the quiet from the two competitors.
You can cut the focus with a knife.
Cut the tension with a knife.
That's the one.
You could also cut the focus with that.
You got some good knife in there.
An early charge from Peach found the first try, and quickly followed with the first kick, making the score 7-0 to Nick. The Hooting Hoskins applied pressure from the restart, causing a quick turnover. They then rucked against no one, apparently, to get possession of the ball. A charge for the line by a Boom Boom was tackled, and the Condoritas were able to retake possession. A counterattack, spearheaded by the Captain Tails, tore back down the pitch, and I realised, is Tails Naruto running? I would love to see more of that in Rugby Union. Anyway, don't get distracted. Tails ran the ball, and a key pass put it across to a teammate who scored the first try for Las Condoritas. The kick was nice and central and slotted easily to make an even score at 7-all. Play restarted and the Hoskins were getting serious. They immediately attacked again, slipping past Las Condoritas' defences and passing to the captain Mario for a quick second try. The conversion this time, however, hit the post and bounced off.
You did it, I think.
Las Condoritas were not discouraged, however, and as the clock ran into extra time, Shadow ran the ball past the Hoskins defenders and equalised the score once again. The equal score didn't last long, as Shadow's boot gave him the extra 2 points and made it 14-12 to the Condoritas. It was extra time and the whistle could blow any second, but it was enough time for the Hoskins, who attacked again and secured try number 3.
No! Oh my god, f***ing extra time, that was long enough to do that.
The kick, however, became Nick's second in a row to bounce off the posts.
Damn it!
Oh, so close.
I'm loving that post today, though.
The whistle sounded as soon as the game restarted, making the score 17-14 at half-time to the Hooting Hoskins. With the start of the second half, the Hoskins attempted to put this game out of reach with a big push. Las Condoritas initially struggled, missing a number of tackles, but Vector was tackled on the left wing, allowing Las Condoritas to get the ball. They were tackled again, and a Boom Boom rushed for the try line, but another tackle stopped that attempt. Shadow began to run the ball away from danger, but he was super tackled. Las Condoritas tackled and regained control of the ball. With some well-timed passes and dodges, Las Condoritas took the ball across the field and put it down to retake the lead. Tere took the chance to evaluate her opponent.
You're unpredictable, you know.
That's called button mashing.
No, but I'll take unpredictable. That's
Never let them know my next move. Because I don't know my next move.
With the score at 21-17, the game restarted and a Hoskins attack was quickly stopped by a Condorita tackle. And then Eggman confused everyone by passing to himself whilst moonwalking?
What the f*** was that?
The ball was taken from Las Condoritas by a ruck, but then stolen back by a well-timed tackle. They found a gap in the Hoskins defence and scored their 4th try, securing the team's first ever bonus point in the ABK Six Nations.
Oh no! Oh my god, I did something really stupid there. I don't know. It was really close.
Attempting to increase their score further, Las Condoritas super tackled straight away and began another attack. But this time it was stopped by Peach. She passed to Mario, who found a gap and sprinted downfield. The ball was turned over by Tere, who began to attack again, but Nick regained the ball as the clock went into extra time. Eggman put the ball into touch for a line-out, but it was stolen by the Hoskins. The Hooting Hoskins attacked as the time was almost out. Either by genius or by accident, a little kick from Peach avoided a super tackle from Eggman, and Peach regained the ball and dodged another tackle. A pass to a teammate and onto Metal Sonic, who dodged a last-second tackle against him, and he put down the ball for the Hoskins' 4th try. Even a well-placed kick couldn't win the game for them here, but they had secured at least 1 bonus point for getting 4 tries. The full-time whistle blew, and Las Condoritas had shown they are back and mean business this year. The Hoskins, however, had to reckon with the fact that this was the 2nd game in a row that they lost by just 2 points. But they don't leave empty-handed, as they get the bonus point for 4 tries and the losing bonus point for coming within 7 points of the winner. The final score: Hooting Hoskins 24, Las Condoritas 26. Kongs vs Koopas.
Okay.
Our final game of round 1 is the first match for our new team, the Chaotic Kongs, as they compete with the Crushing Koopas. As this is a real-life sibling rivalry, it was only right that they had the first new rivalry trophy of 2026, the Family Flower. Not to be confused with the flower from last year. Last year we used it as a one-off trophy given to the team who beat the robots by the biggest margin. We used the same physical trophy for it, but it's fine. It's the Family Flower now, it's competed between the Kongs and the Koopas. Anyway, It's time for a sibling showdown. What will happen? Match preview. Now, I don't think any team could match the enthusiasm or energy of the Crushing Koopas, but some narrow losses in the first and second rounds last year meant they finished the tournament in 4th place. They were characterised in last year's tournament by 2 things: loving passing even when it wasn't necessary, and leading at half time but struggling in the second half. Will these problems persist? And how will they do against a brand new opponent? Alex has only played the game once before today, but in the warm-up friendlies he played the majority of the games.
He's told the team don't go bananas too early and don't be monkeying around, but he'll make sure that he wins the day.
What are your big hopes for today? Like, who are you worried about facing today?
Oh, we've got some newcomers today, and we're just going to have to see how they are. They're nothing compared to the Crushing Koopas, though. Crushing Koopas all the way. These newcomers better watch out.
The game started with some back and forth between the Kongs and the Koopas. A Kong attack was stopped, and the Crushing Koopas began to gradually make their way upfield. This included some of their classic passing, including a very strange bit where Eggman threw the ball directly backwards where there was 2 waiting teammates. That seems a bit narrow. Eventually, the ball found its way to Yoshi on the wings, who ran the ball in for the first try, but a difficult conversion kick.
Oh, around the edge. Fuck. I know.
Vicky likes the challenge.
I didn't want it to go through anyway.
Good. Give
us a challenge.
Yeah.
Play restarted, and the Kongs began their attack, led by their captain DK, making only his 3rd ever ABK Six Nations appearance. The ball went wide to Waluigi on the wings. Try saying that when you're drunk. But a super tackle stole the ball back for the Koopas. The ball was passed centrally to Bowser Jr., but Wario knocked the ball free. Luckily for Vicky, it was scooped up by a Boom Boom, passed wide to Eggman, and he found a gap and took it downfield.
Go on, you lanky fuck.
Eggman ran almost the full length of the pitch, and he placed the ball down for try number 2.
Oh, look at you. Very nice. Really talented this one.
Straight down centre.
The Koopas kicked to restart, which was gathered in a bit of a sloppy way by the Kongs, but DK used a super run to create some options and pass onwards to keep the ball in their possession. The ball went wide to Wario waiting in the wings, and as he was consistent in doing for the Goon and Goombas, Wario ran the ball down the pitch and gave the chaotic Kongs their first try of the tournament right behind the posts. A straightforward conversion later, and the score was 12-7. The Kongs kicked to restart as the clock ticked into extra time, and a Koopa attack was stopped before it could begin by Wario headbutting Eggman in the gut. Some quick passing from the Kongs scored their 2nd try in a row, and their 2nd kick put them ahead. The Koopas made one more attempt at attacking, but it was halted by Wario as the half-time whistle blew. The half-time score was 14-12 to the newcomers. The second half kicked off with the Kongs facing down pressure from the Koopas. They managed to retain the ball, and despite some attempted tackles, they got it to Wario's safe hands, who put in his 2nd try of the game. We can't tell you the swear word Bowser Jr. muttered here, but we did have to tell his dad to have a word with him afterwards. With another kick, the score became 21-12 to the Kongs. The ball went to the Koopas, and this time it was the Kongs applying the pressure. A Boom Boom made a break, but was tackled and the ball was turned over. The Kongs began attacking again, but it was turned over by a super tackle, which was then met with another super tackle to give it back to the Kongs. A chip and chase by Shadow didn't get the intended bounce, but it was enough to secure try number 4 for the Kongs and the bonus point which comes with it. Despite a tough angle, the Kongs kept their 100% conversion rate. The score, 28-12. With now 4 unanswered tries against them, the Koopas had to find a way for... Oh, and he's been punched by DK and tackled. Well, what followed here was a number of attempted attacks, thwarted by super tackles from all sides. Yoshi, Boom Boom, Bowser Jr., all in a row. Eventually, the Koopas regained the ball and managed to run it up the left side, where Eggman got them their 3rd try. The kick went through the posts, making it 28-19. Still 9 points down, the Koopas needed something special as the clock ran into extra time. Unfortunately, Wario wasn't going to let them have it, finding a gap in their defence and heading straight for the Koopa try line. Even without his team, Wario is still proving to be a threat at the ABK Six Nations. DK finished the job, and a 5th kick of the match for the Kongs put the game to bed with a strong opening performance. The final whistle blew. The chaotic Kongs have arrived and have shown that they mean business. Meanwhile, the crushing Koopas will have to go and lick their wounds. Final score, Chaotic Kongs 35, Crushing Koopas 19. So, a new segment this year, we're doing the play of the round, a part of a game which proved decisive to its outcomes. It can be a try, a line out, a kick, a super tackle, anything that had a big impact on the game. In round 1, I want to point out 2 occasions of a good use of the kicking mechanic, something that doesn't really get used that much. So, you can score drop goals in this game, but the wind up on the drop kick is a little long unless you know you have space and time. But little chips like we saw used here are much more effective. First was Nick's kick near the end of his game, which undoubtedly contributed to his 4th try, and the other was Alex's chip and chase, although the bounce didn't quite go his way. It didn't really matter though, as his conversions so far have been flawless. And that brings us to the end of round 1, so let's look at the table. Like last year, I'll flash up the acronyms as well for those unfamiliar. The ranking on the table is decided first by your match points, then by the points difference in what you scored in the games, and then by who scored the most tries. In terms of match points, we have 3 teams that won with a try bonus point. After a dominant win against the Robots, the Boos topped the table based on having the best points difference. They're followed by the newcomers, the Chaotic Kongs, and then in 3rd place, fresh off their first ever Six Nations win, we have Las Condoritas, who narrowly defeated Hooting Hoskins. Speaking of the Hoskins, they are firmly in 4th, having gained a bonus point for scoring 4 tries, and a bonus point for being within 7 of Las Condoritas. In 5th and 6th, on 0 points, are Crushing Koopas and Rusty Robots. If every round has games like this, we're in for one heck of a tournament. Next time! The Hoskins take on the Boos for the Mushroom. This was the closest game of the last tournament, so it promises to be an exciting clash. The Crushing Koopas take on the Rusty Robots, as both will be seeking their first win. Koopas won this game by 53 points last time. Will history repeat itself? And finally, newcomers Chaotic Kongs face down the renewed Las Condoritas. Will the Kongs triumph, or will the Condoritas get their 2nd consecutive win? Join us next week to find out in the ABK Six Nations. See you then!